Hey, good evening. Can I have a big Northern Roots cheer? That was a good practice. Can I have a big Northern Roots cheer? This is a big year for us because, of course, 2 years ago the festival was only online. We had some workshops online, and the concert was all sort of remote acts, kind of being streamed. Then last year we had a couple of concerts here, but we didn't have any in-person workshops. We just streamed a couple of sessions. And this year we are back to our old format. We had our workshops during the day, teaching workshops across the way, and then here. And now tomorrow we'll have a whole series of sessions downtown. So we're back to kind of our old format. So this is a big return for us. So it feels great. Plus, we still are having our live streamed audience. So please, we want to welcome to everybody, send out a welcome to people who are watching online. So great to have you. So as always, I'm so honored and delighted with the musicians that we have playing for us tonight. It's a great lineup. I'm very excited. We're going to start with Nathan and Laura, who have come out from Boston. Nathan and Laura are a big part of the Irish music scene. Nathan's a big part of the Irish music scene in Brattleboro. And Laura is now with us. Great sense of staging there, Laura. So these guys, it's a beautiful sound, this double Irish fiddle. Like, you don't often hear just two fiddle players playing together and playing like with such an incredible sense of synchronicity. It's a really great sound. Also, these guys live in a house in the Boston area with two other musicians. And through some of the darkest periods of the pandemic, because they were a whole household of players, they live streamed every week an Irish music session that had a huge response, and it was just a beautiful thing. Also, Nathan and Laura have a very new duo CD called Brightly or Darkly, and it's just gorgeous. And they do a lot of things and kind of alternate tunings and so on. And I pulled out the CD again this week, and I saw that the title Brightly or Darkly comes from Thomas Moore. This life it is checkered with pleasures and woes that chase one another like waves on the deep, each brightly or darkly as onward it flows. Isn't that a beautiful quote from Thomas Moore? There's nothing checkered about the music of Nathan and Laura. Please make them welcome.
Thanks very much. It's good to be here in Brattleboro, up in Vermont. See some snow, finally, in our winter. I was just down in New Orleans for a week. Nice tropical weather down there. About 50 degrees, no snow down there, though. But those were a few tunes. The first tune was called The Pride of Roxbury. And we like that tune particularly because we live in Roxbury and we're very proud of it. It's a neighborhood in Boston that has a great history of Irish music and Irish dance halls. So that was the first tune, and what was the second tune?
The second tune was Patty Joe Ties, I think. Yeah, we got it from Shane McCrone, a great banjo player up in Mayo. And the third one was The Road to Town, which we got off Peter Carberry and our reference. A beautiful, gorgeous, amazing album from 2013, The Forgotten Gems. So maybe we'll continue on with a waltz next, The Humors of Glyn.
Thanks a lot. That was a waltz called The Humours of Glynn. And we played it, fairly fast for a waltz. At Irish Ceilidh dances, they like the waltzes really fast. You don't want to get too romantic at an Irish Ceilidh. You've got to leave room for the Holy Spirit in between the two people. That's what they say. So yeah, we'll continue on here with a few more tunes. What do you think? Should we play some reels?
Play some reels.
We'll play some more reels. The first one is called The Morning Thrush, and I think we'll play a second tune called Spike Island Lasses. A couple of good tunes that I would associate with uilleann piping.
you so much, everyone. We've got one more for you. We have an amazing night of music coming up, and we're really excited to be a part of it. Last time I was here was back in 2020 with Joey Abarta, right at the start of the year. And so it's great to be back. Joey, back at the time, man, that was about when we lived in the same house. Keith, when you mentioned that we live with 2 other musicians, what I thought you said was we live with 200 musicians. And there are days when you live with pipers where it feels a little bit like that. But we were really lucky to live with a bunch of musicians. We'll play 2 polkas to end the night end our section of the night. And these are 2 from Slieve-Lucra, where I was just down in Slieve-Lucra. There's a festival where they play Irish music 24/7 on loudspeakers throughout the main street in Castle Island. It's great. So the first one is Alström's polka. It's a version of Alström's March. And the second one is Ned Kelly's.
and Laura. My friend Brian O'Donovan in Boston, he likes to use the phrase the pure drop music, and that's real pure drop Irish music, just unadulterated, no messy guitars in the way or. So Nathan and Laura, of course, they taught some workshops today, and they're leading the Irish session tomorrow downtown at the River Garden Marketplace, and that'll be a great scene. And it's a great part of the festival that we get to kind of bring friends into town, like Nathan and Laura, to kind of give us a little injection of new energy. But of course, the festival also always likes to kind of showcase local musicians. And it's like such a treat for me as the local traditional music community continues to grow, that there's more and more people that I can draw on in that category. So Julia Friend, a new resident, relatively new resident of Brattleboro in the last couple of years. Julia grew up in a very strong folk song community in New York. Her parents were both very active folk music singers, so Julia really is the product of the folk music scene. And as I say, she's in Brattleboro. I think it's safe to say, like, not a frequent performer. She has a day job. She does instrument repair, band instrument repair. So you can't buy a CD of hers, but you could bring your broken tuba to her, for example. Saxophone. There you go. Julia also is the upstairs neighbor of a friend of mine, my friend Karen, who hears Julia singing through the floor frequently. And she says, Julia sounds fantastic through the floor. So I'm sure she'll sound even better in the room. Julia, friend, here you go.
Come, all of you bold plowing men of courage stout and bold, who labor through the winter and the stormy winds and cold, to fill your fields with plenty and your barnyards to renew, that bread may not be wanted. Behold the painful plow. Now, said the plowman to the gardener, like not your trade to ours, but walk your curious borders and gaze upon your flowers. If it hadn't been for the plowing man, both rich and poor would rue, for we are all dependent upon the painful plow. Now Adam was a plowing man when plowing first begun. The very next to succeed him was Cain, his eldest son. Some of each generation the calling must pursue, that bread may not be wanted. Behold the painful plow. And Samson was a mighty man, and Solomon he was wise. Alexander fought to conquer, and is all that we do prize. David was a valiant man, and many 1,000 slew, but none of these great heroes could live without the plow. And I hope that all who hear this song will hold to what is true. We cannot cross the raging seas without the painful plow, for they must have their bread and cake, their butter and jam and peas, to feed the jolly sailing men who plow the raging seas. So come all of you bold plowing men of courage stout and bold, who labor through the winter and the stormy winds and cold, to fill your fields with plenty and your barnyards to renew, that bread may not be wanted. Behold the painful plow. That's from the singing of Louisa Jo Killen, one of my very favorite singers. Let's see. The songs that mean the most to me, that stick with me the longest, are often the ones that seem to have something missing from them. Either there's part of the plot that just got dropped along the way, or you don't know the motive of one of the characters and you're just confused. And at that point, we're invited into the song to complete it with our imagination, and I find that really magical. So I'm going to sing one for you that's a bit confusing, and I'm going to let you sort it out with whatever logic makes sense to you. Oh, Father, dearest Father, pray, what is this you've done? You've wed me to a college boy, a boy who's far too young. For he only 16 years and I am 21. He's my bonny, bonny boy, but he's growing. As we were going through the college, all the boys were playing ball. And there I spied my own true love, the fairest of them all. And there I spied my own true love, the fairest of them all. He's my bonny, bonny boy, but he's growing. For at the age of 16 years, he was a married man. And at the age of 17, the father of a son. And at the age of 21, he did become a man. But the green grass o'er his grave, it was growing. I'll buy my love some flannel, I will make my love shroud. With every stitch I put in it, the tears will flow down. With every stitch I put in it, the tears will flow down. And that put an end to his growing. That's from the singing of Lizzie Higgins, another one of my favorites. I'm going to have Mary Fraser help me out with the next one. It's a story about somebody who's getting up to no good. I think that's all you need to know. Yes, that's right. Okay. I am a brisk lad, my fortune is quite bad. In fact, I am wondrous poor, but it's I do intend my fortune to mend. I will build me a house down on the moor, my brave boys. I will build me a house down on the moor. Like my father, I'll keep fat oxen and sheep, and a neat little nag on the downs. But in the middle of the night, when the moon does shine bright, there's a great deal of work to be done, my brave boys. There's a great deal of work to be done. For it's I'll roam around on some other man's ground. I'll steal a fat ewe from his pack, and with the aid of my knife, I'll shorten its life. And I'll carry it home on my back, my brave boys. I will carry it home on my back. My children will hew the skin from the ewe, and I will go weathering on. But when the constable comes, I'll stand there with my gun, and I'll swear all I have is my own, my brave boys. I All right, I have one from Newfoundland, proper northern place. Keith is very pleased, I'm sure. This is from the singing of Anita Best, a fantastic singer and performer. And it's about scarcity due to a supply chain problem. But instead of COVID, the problem is ice in the harbor. It's keeping the ships in the winter from offloading their cargo and getting close enough. And once people start running out of certain supplies, they have to make do with something else. The author of this song is very opinionated about how people are coping. You fellows smoke tobacco, come pity my case. I'm here on this island without a damn taste, surrounded by ice and encompassed by snow, and in search of that weed, I don't know where to go. May the great God of heaven take pity on I, and send me some baccy, or else I will die. It's been 6 weeks or better since I had a draw, and I can't remember when I last had a chaw. Now them that smokes tea, well, they'd better beware, for it is very scarce and most damnable dear. And to my opinion, a good cup of tea would suit you far better than to smoke it away. But them that smokes moss is the worst robbers of all. They go out with their bags, picking it in the fall. If they'd leave it alone, sure 'twould keep their house tight, but they're only just making a fool of the pipe. Now I can't smoke the trash I see some people smoke, such as with rod and shavings and strands of old rope. And them that smokes wax, sure it is, some they say wax, sure it is good to chaw, but it loosens the teeth, puts a kink in your jaw. If the wind bears northeast, then the ice it'll go, and we'll all get some baccy, St. Peter's I know. Every man with his tavern stuck out of his gob, and to hell we'll shove shavings, spruce rind, and with rod. I'm sure that was Keith's experience growing up. Okay, we'll do one more that has a nice chorus for you all. Mary will join us on that too. It's going to sound like this. This is your part. What's that key though? Pretty babes in the wood, pretty babes in the wood. Oh, don't you remember those babes in the wood? You know it. Oh, don't you remember 'twas a long time ago, those two little babies, their names I don't know. They strayed far away one bright summer's day. Those two little babies got lost on their way. Pretty babes in the wood, pretty babes in the wood. Oh, don't you remember those babes in the wood? Now the day being done and the night coming on, those two little babies sat under a stone. They sobbed and they sighed, so bitterly cried. Two little babies, they lay down and died. Pretty babes in the wood, pretty babes in the wood. quickly they sped. They put out their wide wings and over them spread, and all the day long in the branches they thronged. They sweetly did whistle, and this was their song. Pretty babes in the wood, pretty babes in the wood. Oh, don't you remember those babes in the wood? Thank you.
I'm told that that was even better than hearing it through the floor. So Julia is going to be co-hosting the Pub Sing tomorrow. Another plug for the sessions downtown tomorrow. Pub Sing at 1 o'clock. And then the next session after that is French Canadian, and then we end off with an Irish session led by Nathan and Laura. So having new musicians move to town, it's not always unproblematic. The accordion population in Brattleboro has started to reach alarming levels. The situation is being monitored both by the BMC and the CDC. We will alert you if, anyway. Alex Cumming recently moved to town. When did you move to town?
September.
Just in September. Just under the Northern Roots deadline. So we're delighted and lucky. But you know, as sometimes happens in Brattleboro, and certainly with someone who's so new, I've barely had a chance to connect with Alex. So here it is, a great chance for me and for the rest of you to kind of get a sense of Alex's music. Alex from England brings a great repertoire of songs and instrumentals, and hearing him play, he really represents, I think, in some ways, that there's a certain sound in new traditional English music that Alex has really got a strong sense of. So we're delighted to have Alex both in town and playing for the festival. And with him, Max Newman. What a treat for us to have Max here. Yeah. Becky and I have known Max for many years, and we've worked at some summer music and dance camps with him, and Max is just a consummate musician, great mandolin and guitar player, big presence on the contra dance scene, touring far and wide, and just delighted to have Max here in Brattleboro.
Thank you.
Alex and Max.
Hello, Brattleboro! Oh, it's been such a wonderful day. We're very content and very happy. We haven't given him a vocal mic. Do you want to say anything?
No, thank you.
Ever the accompanist. We're going to start with a song that comes from this side of the pond. It was from the collections of Olive Dame Campbell, who was born and raised in Medford, Massachusetts. Later went down and spent a lot of time in Appalachia. I need to pronounce it properly. The Appalachian Mountains, there we go. And she founded the John C. Campbell Folk School down in Brasstown, North Carolina. But she was incredibly influential, not only as an education reformist, but as a folk song collector. And this is one of the very first songs that she collected from the Hindman Settlement School in Kentucky. And it's just a fantastic version of an old English folk song called Lord Bateman. But this particular version is called Lord Bacon. But we don't know why, because Lord Bacon is not, or young Bacon, or any Bacon is not mentioned in the story whatsoever. So, folk music! Ready? Oh. her finest clothing, and declared Lord Gateman, oh, she'd go by. She went till she came to the gates, she tingled. It was so loud, but she wouldn't come in. Is this your place? She cried, Lord Gateman, or is it that you've let your new bride in? Go remember him of the piece of bread. Go remember him of that glass of wine. Go remember him of the Turkish lady who set him free from the iron cold bonds. He stamped his foot upon the floor. He broke his table to pieces three, saying, I'll forsake both land and dwelling for the Turkish lady who set me free. Thank you very much. This is the very first time Max and I have ever played as a duo.
That's true.
I can see why I was suggested not to give them a mic now. So this is all actually from a special project I haven't really much announced yet, but I guess I am now. But next month I'm recording an album and Max is on the album. So we were kind of in the midst of rehearsing and getting the album ready, and I was like, well, you should come and do this festival with and have fun. And so I'm having a nice time so far. And I managed to coax him from the contra dance world to the folk song world. It's going well so far.
So far.
Well, conveniently, we're not really singing any songs of death tonight, at least in my repertoire. We're keeping it probably still miserable, but, you know, no death. So you're in luck. This next song, I was commissioned to make a version of a few years ago for a Revels production. There's this song in England with words by William Blake called Jerusalem. And it has, the tune associated with it is diplomatically okay. It's not a great tune. It's very sort of old and pomp and circumstance, and I was commissioned to put together a tune for this song that really gave it its poignance and loveliness that the words of William Blake really put forth. And if you don't know the song, it's really, to me, it's almost like a second national anthem in the UK. It's really well regarded and thought of as like a really precious song, and I kind of want to sing this at the moment because my country back in England and the UK is going through a really crap time right now. The government are destroying a lot of what makes the UK special and magic. One of those big things being the NHS, for example. It's just coming to a crash because the government have so chronically underfunded it and driving it into the ground so they can make a health system like the US. Don't get me started on that one. But this song just gives me hope. This song is about, you know, making a land of beauty that you really do dream for, and it has really nice imagery in this song. So we're going to sing my version of Jerusalem, which I called Green and Pleasant Land. Oh, I should say, because I like to live up to my English stereotype, the tune I based this on is a Morris dance tune. Mixed response. Thank you, Andy. the countenance divine shine forth among these clouded hills, and was Jerusalem planted here amongst these dark satanic mills. Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrow of desire, bring me my spear, O clouds unfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have found Jerusalem among these green and pleasant lands. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall the sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. I didn't cry, that's good. Oh, it's so magic to be singing in a room full of people again. This is so nice. And what an amazing venue this. I've been here 6 months and I haven't stepped foot in here yet, and I'm in love with this place. Isn't it amazing? So we're going to make full use of this space. We're going to do one more. And it's got a chorus you can join in with. Nothing like forced enthusiasm, is there? This is a song that I was told for many years by my friends in the UK that I should learn and sing, and I refused for many years. And then I actually fell in love with it. It's a sea shanty called Boston Harbour. For many years I lived in the greater Boston area, which is why they were nagging me to sing it. And to be fair, they think Vermont is Boston as well over there, so... and so it has a chorus you can join in with. The words and the tune go like this. Big bow wow, chow row row. Try that. Big bow wow, chow row row. And the last bit. Fody roady ride day. Fody roady ride day. Beautiful. And then we're going to go into a tune which Max will tell you about because I think he deserves to say something.
That's true. We're going to do a nice local tune written by Thomas Bartlett. It's from Brattleboro, Vermont. Tune called Thomas Shrug March.
Thank you for having us. Oh, and then after this, there's the best part of the night. It's the interval where you can buy all our merch. But I will say, all these tracks are going to be on the new album, which is not recorded yet. So if you want to keep in touch with me, buy one of my other albums, and then you'll have my details. Aha. So this is Boston Harbour and Thomas Shrug's March. All right. From Boston Harbor we set sail. The wind was blowing a devil of a gale, with our ringtail set about the mizzen peak, and the Royal Britannia ploughing up the deep. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day with me. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. Then up comes the skipper from down below. He looks aloft, he looks alow, he looks alow, he looks aloft, and his coil up the ropes there fore and aft. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day with me. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. Drop of grog to us can he afford, and he's darned our eyes in every word. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. And if to us he doesn't prove right, we'll very soon make him walk the plank. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day with me. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. If there's one thing that we do rave, that he meets his watery grave. We'll lead him down to some dark hole, where the shark will have his body and the devil have his soul. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day with me. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day. Big bow wow, chow row row, boddy roddy ride day.
Thank you, Alice Cummings and Max Newman. All right, so as Alex said, we'll take a short break and we'll see you back in about 10 minutes or so. Thank you. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. We've got a great second half. We're going to start off with some music from Quebec, which is another sort of genre that we're fond of here at the Northern Roots Festival. So we're going to have Mary Fraser and Sally Newton go out and join us. Mary was living in Dummerston up until recently, and she's relocated down to Montague, which is now a Brattleboro outpost. So she's down there. Mary also is a very sort of noted old-time style fiddle player, but she's kind of recently kind of gone back to what are in fact kind of her roots in French Canadian music, because Mary was actually born in Quebec. So she's been drawn back to the music of French Canada and cricket tunes. And she's joined by Sally Newton. Sally and her family have kind of been a big part of the Southern Vermont traditional dance music scene for a long time. And in fact, these guys, I think that you connected at a dance, and they were telling me earlier that in the pandemic they would get together at a covered bridge in Townsend, and they would play, and then sometimes actually host a dance. And so people wanting to cross the bridge had to actually literally promenade their way across. So, and I heard these guys playing a little earlier, and it's like a sound from an old Quebec dance hall. So we've got that to look forward to with Mary and Sally. Thanks, guys.
Soudan and Real de Mont Royal and wood choppers, which I'm sure some of you recognize, and you can recognize the sound of the wood being chopped there in the low part. And next we're gonna play 3 tunes, and all together it's 6 different keys? We're gonna change keys a bunch of times. track of all those different tunes, which we barely could. The first one, first one is Un Galop de Jean-Marie Verlet, and the second one is Dora Dean, which was written by Bert Williams in the late 1800s, about a star, a vaudeville star, African-American lady who, she kind of made the cakewalk famous. And Bert Williams was a big fan, so he wrote that tune for her. And then the Rimouski is that last crazy one. That's from Paul Cormier. And last, we're going to play another Un Galop de Joe Bouchard, and Joe Bouchard is probably my favorite Québécois fiddler. And then La Steppetit Fonts, which some of you learned today in my workshop. So now you'll get to hear it in a set. And then the Casse Reel.
Well, it's almost exactly a year since the death of our dear friend Tony Barrand. It was sort of a sad and poignant moment last year that we heard the news that Tony had passed away the Saturday of the Northern Roots Festival. And so that was a big loss for so many of us. You know, Tony was such a big part of our community. He was a frequent performer here at the Northern Roots Festival and had done so much for us over the years. So with our Traddleboro piece this year, we wanted to honor Tony with Traddleboro. So the Traddleboro segment, this is a thing that we do every year at Northern Roots. It's a little group of local musicians who don't normally play together, who come together to do some particular theme of music. And so we're going to do a little tribute to Tony. One of the things about Tony, he was not just a great singer, he was a great song facilitator. He loved to get a whole room of people singing together. And so we're going to kind of honor that side of Tony's singing by doing a set of big chorus songs. So there's nothing more that you could possibly do for Tony in his memory than to sing in with great energy and gusto on these choruses. One of the things that Tony did for many years here in town, he was co-host along with Amanda Witman of our local monthly pub sing. So we're going to turn to Amanda to kick things off with a classic pub song. If you don't know this song, you can literally just sing La 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 on the chorus.
There were 3 men come out of the west, their fortunes for to try, and they have made a solemn vow, John Barleycorn should die. John Barleycorn should die. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. They plowed him in 3 furrows deep, laid clods all on his head, and they have made a solemn vow, John Barleycorn was dead. John Barleycorn was dead. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. And then there came a shower of rain that from the sky did fall. John Barleycorn sprang up again, and he did amaze them all. He did amaze them all. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. And then came men with great sharp scythes to cut him off at the knee. They bashed his head against a stone, and they used him barbarously. They used him barbarously. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. And then came men with great long flails to cut him skin from bone. And they have used him worse than that. They've ground him between 2 stones. They've ground him between 2 stones. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. They wheeled him here, they wheeled him there, they wheeled him into the barn, and they have used him worse than that. They've bunged him in a vat. They've bunged him in a vat. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa-la-la-la-lay. They worked their will upon John Barleycorn, but he lives to tell the tale. We pour him into an old brown jug, and we call him home-brewed ale. We call him home-brewed ale. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day. Fa-la-la-la-lay-o. Fa-la-la-la is a lovely day, singing fa la la la, fa la 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 is a lovely day, fa la 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 lay-o, fa la 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 is a lovely day, singing fa la 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 lay.
All right, so this is a song from an old John and Tony album. It's a song of slight exaggeration. So I'm going to sing a line, and then you're going to sing "Fi man, fi." Go. Fi man, fi. And then I'll sing a line, and then you'll sing "Who's the fool now?" Go. Who's the fool now? Then I'll sing a couple of lines, and then you'll sing. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? Oh, Martin said to his man, Fi man, fi. Oh, Martin said to his man, who's the fool now? Oh, Martin said to his man, fill you the cup and I the can. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw a hare chase the hound, fi man, fi. I saw a hare chase the hound, who's the fool now? I saw a hare chase the hound 100 miles round and round. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw the cheese eat the rat, fi man, fi. I saw the cheese eat the rat, who's the fool now? I saw the cheese eat the rat, saw the mouse chase the cat. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw a flea heave a tree, fi man, fi. I saw a flea heave a tree, who's the fool now? I saw a flea heave a tree 20 miles out to sea. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw a snail drive a nail, fi man, fi. I saw a snail drive a nail, who's the fool now? I saw a snail drive a nail from Burlington down to Hinsdale. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I heard a jig played by a horse, fi man, fi. I heard a jig played by a horse, who's the fool now? I heard a jig played by a horse at the BMC, of course. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw a maid milk a bull, fi man, fi. I saw a maid milk a bull, who's the fool now? I saw a maid milk a bull, every pull a bucket full. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? I saw a worm dance in his boots, fi man, fi. I saw a worm dance in his boots, who's the fool now? I saw a worm dance in his boots, I think that was at Northern Roots. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now? Martin said to his man, fi man, fi. Martin said to his man, who's the fool now? Martin said to his man, fill you the cup and I the can. Thou hast well, drunken man, who's the fool now?
All right, well, we know that Tony loved seasonal songs. He sang songs every season of the year, and he particularly liked ones that covered all the seasons, like this one, which includes spring and summer, harvest. He particularly liked Christmas carols that even mentioned the crucifixion. He just liked, the cycle, and the old ones did that. This is a song from the Grange songbook from the 1890s, and you may recognize the tune of another gospel song, but it's called Bud and Bloom. So the words of the chorus are, bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields, sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields. So we'll start with the chorus. Keith and Fred and Amanda will do some backup stuff. You can do what they're doing or what I'm doing or whatever you want to do. Okay? Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields. Though the winter be cheerless and cold, and the wild winds are bowing the trees, in promise the spring we behold, and rejoice with the birds and the bees. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields. In the axe and the conquering plough, the harrowing, mellowing spade, we the symbols of labor avow, the tools of our industry made. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields. From the hour that we scatter the seed, to the day when the harvest we glean, only peace from the Spirit above will make us devoutly serene. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, and the fruit in its time nature yields sweet perfume. Bud and bloom, sweet perfume, we will hark to the call of the fields.
Well, Tony, as you all know, was a Morris dancer, and they used to sing this song at Morris gatherings because the song is, the tune is used for a well-known Morris dance called Swaggering Boney. And Alex was telling me in the green room that he loves this song. He was so glad that I was going to be singing it. So are you back there, Alex? He's listening online. So the chorus, the words of the chorus, it's about the tradition in England, which we won't go into because it's sort of, anyway, of dancing bears. The words of the chorus are, the cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear. They sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. Right, they sold the show. I'll sing it, and then we'll all sing it. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. You'll get 6 tries at it. The wake's coming on, and the bear he took ill. They tried him with potion, with brandy and pill, but he died in his sleep on the eve of the wakes. The cause they said they were stealing street cakes. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. He'd served the town well, and he'd served the town true. To lay him in state was the least they could do. The old bear was dead, a successor they'd need. A new bear was wanted, and that at great speed. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware the stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. Now a parson is useful in times of great need, and imbibed with strong porter he quickly agreed. The parson his Bible he gave then and there. He sold to Turnbull Twitch to buy a new bear. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware the stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. Now the new bear, a she-bear, was toast of the town. To music and laughter she danced up and down, so loudly the cheering would waken the dead. It caused the old bear for to rise from his bed. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware the stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. Pills, potion, and brandy had caused a deep trance, but revived by the music he started to dance. He danced down the road, causing many a gaze. Word quickly spread that the old bear was raised. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware the stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. He rolled his dark eyes as he saw the she-bear, and with an embrace they danced jigs pair and pair. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear.
All right, we're going to bring the whole gang back out on stage to wrap things up here. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I want to say a big round of thanks, as always, to the BMC, which just does such a tremendous job of helping pull together all the details for the festival, and so much else in traditional music for us throughout the year. So big thanks to the BMC. And a big thank you to our ever-expanding tech crew. Alan, once again, on sound, Ray on the video camera, and Justin back there from BCTV. So, Austin, thank you. So thanks to the big tech crew back there. Thank you, guys. As I've mentioned, we have a big afternoon tomorrow. It's going to be very festive down at the River Garden Marketplace. You can get your fill of singing and fiddle tunes and whatever else they have at the bar. So you can fill up on lots of things. So we're going to round things off here. Call all hands to man the capstan. See the cables running clear. Heave away and with a will, boys. For New England we will steer. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England. Rolling home, dear land to thee.
Up aloft among the rigging blows a wild and rushing gale, like a monsoon in the springtime, filling out each well-known sail. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England. Rolling home, dear land to thee. All the friends we love so dearly will be constant, firm, and true. We will meet again with gladness, fond acquaintance to renew. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England. Rolling home, dear land to thee.
Many thousand miles behind us, many thousand miles before. Ocean winds do blow to guide us to our well-beloved shore. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England. Rolling home, dear land to thee.
And we'll sing in joyful chorus through the watches of the night. We'll sight the shore of old New England when the dawn brings in the light. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England. Rolling home, dear land to thee. Thank you very much. Andy, Mary, Alex, Nathan, Laura, Fred, Max, Julia, Amanda, Sally, thank you so much.